Hey Metalheads, it is Chainsaw Gears 12 here with my 13th episode of Weekly Metal Topic. Sorry guys that I missed the week. If you are following and everything that you already know, I'll just give a little short story that I was going to quit YouTube and I didn't have time to upload the Weekly Metal Topic video on Friday. But I am back and I'm here to stay, so don't worry about that guys. So as you can read above, this is not a talking about a certain trend in metal or anything like last time, not the last video, not last week, so I didn't have a video last week of guitar solos, but I wanted to talk about, because I thought a lot about today and just really thought that I should have a discussion about it. Where do you see metal in the future? Or as the title says, where do you see metal in 10 years? So I'm going to get into that topic guys, so let's do this. Cool transition. Yeah, I know that was a cool transition. Woo! Anyway, so here's the reason why I wanted to talk about this. Because a lot of metalheads and a lot of my friends that are into metal that I know, and some of my subscribers and everything and all that on YouTube, woo! Because it's so much awesome, because it really is. But a lot of the people that I know in metal, that like metal and everything, they tend to say that metal is like underground, and it's a thing that it won't rise up again like back in the 80s. Well, the difference between the 80s and now is the 80s they had hair metal, and as we all know, if you're a smart person, you would know hair metal was stupid. I'm just saying, in my opinion, hair metal was stupid. I mean, yeah, there might be some of those major bands, you know, like the big bands back in the 80s that were actually good, but a lot of the 80s hair bands, they're extinct because their career washed out as soon as the grunge era hit with Nirvana and everything in the 90s. So it just all died out. But it's like from that to now, metal has become more heavy and has become more of a force to be reckoned with, and it's gotten, you know, with the death growls and the high-pitched screaming and, you know, the pig squeals, which I just despise, like that stuff. But mainly it's like that type of metal. Like the metal, like, I don't know, let's see, Cannibal Corpse, Behemoth, you know, and then these more technicalized bands but still have that, you know, that death growling, you know, vocalist behind them, like the review I did after the Burial, and we also have Between the Buried and Me has vocals like that too, and Job for a Cowboy, the Black Dahlia Murder. There's many bands I can't think off the top of my head just all of a sudden. All That Remains, Trivium has some screaming. I mean, those type of bands, I mean, most of those bands I just named off, they're pretty popular in their own right, but the fact of, you know, I don't see metal changing in 10 years or at all, because I feel like the majority of the people that listen to music just don't, either they just don't understand or they think it's like, because the one main thing that I think metal is not going to rise up in the rankings, you know, it's not going to be like, you know, the next MTV, you know, awards. It's not going to be like, you know, best new artist is going to go to some death metal band, or like album of the year is not going to go to Black Dahlia Murder. You know, it's not going to happen like that, because I think one thing, and I'm not bashing on it, but I'm saying is it's a main factor of why metal is not going to rise up and be a thing like all these other genres that are just huge among the world, is because, you know, it's a religion. That's it really. Because a lot of, I feel like it's mainly the Christian aspect. I don't know about other religions, but mainly Christians. Like I see it as a, you know, Christians like make these groups and they, you know, they say that metal is like Satan's work and everything, and a lot of bands, like I'm pretty sure 99.9% of metal bands are against that fact, saying, you know, we're not saying we're Satan, you know, we don't worship Satan. I know some bands do, and some bands, you know, say awful things about Jesus Christ and everything, but it's the aspect of, you know, like metal has been given a bad name because every band that has ever made metal music, or even rock music, I don't even know how far it goes, but, I mean, they're all being categorized as Satan worshippers. And that's where I think a main aspect is, because I don't know what the percentage of Christians in America or anywhere in the world, but I know that it's enough to put down the metal. And because, you know, a main thing that I noticed at the Whitechapel show, because Whitechapel in some ways is on the same level of popularity as like All That Remains and Trivium, because I've seen All That Remains and Trivium live in a show. They were both headlining together. Then I saw All That Remains like a year later by themselves. They were just headlining, no co-headlining anything. And as soon as I got to the concert and, you know, Rise, the doors were open, the place was packed because it's All That Remains Trivium. Well, the last show that I reviewed with Whitechapel and After the Burial and all those guys, the review I did, when I went to that show and I showed up like 10 minutes after the doors were open, there was barely, you know, the room was barely even half packed. So that showed me that, you know, it's kind of like, you know, like metal, it feels like we're so under the minority. Like, everybody's right. It's an underground thing, but I just don't see it go anywhere because all these bands are being categorized, and fans, of course. I mean, I've been in the mall sometimes, you know, just walking around, going to the game store, FYE, checking out music, blah blah blah, and people will look at me weird because I'm wearing black clothing, so I'm wearing like Metallica shirts and stuff, and people look at me strange like I'm a devil worshiper. I mean, it happens. So the whole aspect is that I don't see metal, like, you know, rising up. Not because I don't think they can. I think metal can and metal should rise up and be on the same level of popularity where, you know, all these bands can, you know, reach the fans that they want to reach, and, you know, the people that can actually find their music easier and not just, you know, and be easier for people to go see them live. But I feel like, I mean, I guess the more and more, because like more and more metal festivals in the summer are popping up. Like there's some festivals that I was like checking on Facebook because I've liked so many of these bands that they're like posting pictures of like these festivals they're going to be at, and I've never even heard of half of them. So it's like it looks like that metal is becoming more of a mainstream type deal, but I just don't see it rising up to where the majority of people listen to like Trivium going down the road or Metallica. I mean, Metallica's an exception because they hit it big with the Black Album, but I mean, like, let's get like lower. Let's say I don't expect driving down the road and hearing somebody blasting Whitechapel or the Black Dahlia Murder or Cannibal Corpse or, you know, any of these bands that are been around and they're really popular with their fans, but they're not popular with the majority. So I don't know, like, but that is my view on metal, like where it's at now, and comparing it to what it might be in 10 years or however long you want to be. But I'm putting it 10 years because in 10 years I'm still wanting to listen to metal, and I'm still going to listen to metal, and I'm not going to be one of those people that just stops because I got old. You know, if you have a true love and feelings for a music genre that you really understand and you love listening to it, I'm not going to stop that just because I get older. You know, I'm not going to change who I am, because who I am is I listen to metal, and that's just the way it is. But guys, I want you to comment down below and let me know what you think about this topic and where you see metal in 10 years, if you see yourself still listening to metal, if you see yourself in a band, I mean, anything. I mean, whatever you think, wherever you think metal will be at in 10 years. So make sure you comment down below like that. If you like the video, press the like button. And for more metal, guys, subscribe. And that is the video, guys. I will see you guys on Monday with another special video.